And this is about India's strong anti-terror pitch at the UNSC. India's representative at the United Nations, Ruchira Kamboj, has said, and I quote, "States that use cross-border terror to serve narrow political purposes must be held accountable. Stand together against common threats such as terrorism and do not engage in double standards for political expediency." Listen into what she had to say.
Peaceful settlement of disputes is a key factor. Rule of law necessitates that countries respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity, as they would expect their own sovereignty to be respected. Since the Pacta Sunt Servanda is a binding norm of the rule of law, it requires that countries must respect agreements signed with others, bilateral or multilateral, and do not take unilateral measures to undermine or nullify those very arrangements. The application of the rule of law at the international level should protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states from aggression, including terrorism and including cross-border terrorism. States that use cross-border terror to serve narrow political purposes must be held accountable.
All right, we're crossing over to CNN News 18's Foreign Affairs correspondent Abhishek Jha to get us more details. Abhishek, can you give us more details on the context of the statement that's been made by Ruchira Kamboj?
So India's permanent representative Ruchira Kamboj has clearly used this platform of United Nations Security Council to unveil the ugly face of cross-border terrorism that India has been a victim of for a very long time now. The discussion that was happening around rule of law in the international sphere, where every member of the United Nations should abide by the Charter of United Nations and should not overstep to the territories of their neighboring countries or any other countries for that matter, in order to have protection for the sovereignty of each country, who all are member of United Nations. Ruchira Kamboj highlighted how India has been a victim of cross-border terrorism and how terrorism and cross-border terrorism should also be considered as an attempt on the sovereignty of other country. And in this light, this meeting was happening under Japan's presidency of United Nations Security Council, where each member of United Nations Security Council and other members of United Nations also expressed their views regarding rule of law and how the peace and stability in the world should be maintained following the charter that all members have agreed upon under United Nations.
Can we say that this is an indirect hit at Pakistan? And would you also be able to tell us about what the External Affairs Minister, S. Jaishankar, has previously said about Pakistan being an epicenter of terror?
Of course, we have known how India has been raising this issue of Pakistan being an epicenter of terrorism, which is not being only the adverse condition for India's own stability in parts of Jammu Kashmir and in Punjab, but also Pakistan has been a center of terrorism and hardcore radical ideology, which has exported terrorists across the world. We have seen how 26/11 has happened. We have seen how 9/11 has happened. We have seen other incidences of terrorist activities across the world, which has all connections with somehow in Pakistan or Pakistan's territories. The latest Taliban takeover of Afghanistan is also accredited to largely Pakistan-sponsored and protected groups of elements, which finally became so powerful that they overthrew the erstwhile government of Afghanistan, and now currently the sitting of Taliban is also they also have a very good connection with Pakistan and its agency ISI. So in most of the cases around the globe, if we find one common root cause or one common route where all terrorist activities and the nexuses can be found, Pakistan has always been somehow linked with these activities. The latest we should remember the latest incidents of one proliferation of uranium and enriched uranium, which originated from Pakistan and which was then confiscated in United Kingdom at Heathrow Airport, which is very recent development, is also somehow linked to Pakistan. So world knows that how Pakistan has been not only exporting terrorism and terrorist activities and individuals, but also been involved in other sort of nefarious activities, including proliferation of radioactive materials across the world.
All right, Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us all of that context and all of those details. Now